Everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode, Coffee with Coach. Hope you're up, doing well, got the mind in the right place. But as always, if not, let's put it in the right place. So today, kind of just been on this little jiu-jitsu trip lately with everything. Last couple days, couple evenings, just observing students' role, behaviors, patterns, listening to people talk, what they say, that kind of thing. So last night, and this is basically for jiu-jitsu people. So if you don't train jiu-jitsu, just kind of bear with me here. But if you train jiu-jitsu, I guess you can put this in any aspect of life. I talked about it before, but in a different way. So it's kind of normal for students. You'll have students that will kind of look the other way, so to speak, when it's time to roll with, someone that they know it's going to be a tough round when the rounds start. And I was telling the students last night after practice, when we were lining up, that they should try to roll with the individuals that give them the hardest time. And that's just our natural instinct, our natural reaction. In all the books that I read, all the things that I listen to, us as humans normally don't go towards the hardest thing. We always go towards the easiest thing. Our natural instinct is to, just avoid whatever's tough, whatever's hard to do, and to go towards something that's easier. And jiu-jitsu is no different, for sure, because when you come in and you get warmed up and you're going through the drills and it's time to roll, everyone wants to win their rounds. But unfortunately, like life, that's not the way it works. So, what happens is certain individuals will. I have students. I have quite a few students that will definitely find the hardest training partners to roll with because they just want that smoke every day because they know that's how they're going to get better, even though they know it's going to be tough, right? Then I have those other individuals where, and just I've seen this throughout many, many years of training jiu-jitsu, over 20 years, where you'll have those other individuals where they'll kind of look the other way, not catch eye contact. Because when it's time to roll, all the coaches or instructors will be like, all right, guys, find a training partner, or sometimes your coach, like myself, will pick the training partners for you. And that's when I get a lot of eye rolls, right? Because a lot of times when I observe students, like I said, a good portion, they'll go tie up with someone with that's going to give them a hard time. So I'll never change that role, okay? But then there's other individuals where when I watch them go look around the room and try to see who they're going to roll with, it's always like an easier training partner. So then that's when I'll intervene and come in the middle and be like, all right, guys, we're going to switch you here. You go there, you go here. And I want to make sure that you get the right amount of work in, because it also depends on what kind of day you had to. Maybe you just had a rough day, long day, and you just don't feel like getting after it. But those are your feelings. And for any good instructor out there, will just don't really care about how bad of a day you had or what kind of long day you had. The point is to get the good work in. And so that good work will come in when you switch certain individuals up so that they can have tough rolls with each other so that they can grow and get better, because you only grow and get better when you get the tough rounds in. So, I just kind of saw a pattern last night, because we do 4 rounds every evening, 4 rounds, or every class, 4 rounds, 7-minute rounds, and sometimes we'll do 5. I like to just watch and observe where individuals go, where their eyes go, where they head to, who they shake hands with, who they're trying to roll with. And like I said, for the most part, it's good. And then you just have those other individuals where they know they should be rolling with these individuals over here, but they don't, because it's tough. And it's their size, close to their belt rank, weight, everything, height, and it's like, why aren't you guys rolling with each other? Morning, Mr. Sergio. And the answer is just simply, they just don't want a tough roll. They want an easier roll. And so what I told my students last night was I had there's quite a few high ranks in class that have been with me for a very, very long time. And I just asked everyone, All right, guys, raise your hand if you just enjoy, you know, getting tapped out or smashed by me, rolling with me, okay? And no one raised their hand, of course. No one's going to, right? No one really like enjoys that. And then I said, all right, how many of you guys that roll with me on a routine basis feel like you've gotten better and closed the gap by rolling with me so often? And everyone raised their hand pretty much, you know what I'm saying? And it's true. The more that I roll with these individuals, my students that I roll with on a routine basis, the better they get, the harder they are to deal with. It's making it tougher for me where I have to adjust my game because they are learning, they're adjusting, they're making the right adjustments during the round. They're adapting to the things that I'm doing to them, and they're not making the same mistakes anymore. So what's that do? That just makes them better, okay? They're getting better. And it just makes things super tough for me to where I have to go back to the drawing board and refigure out how to, I have to go to a different game. I can't do the same thing to them anymore because they're learning how to block it, defend it, and just do different things. And that's where the growth comes from. That's why I do the things that I do in the mat area, because that's what I'm looking for. I'm always looking for the growth. So, because it's not going to help me to go find the students that I know that I can beat all the time and not going to give me a hard time. It's really not even worth my while to roll with students like that because I want to grow too. And if I have students that don't really, let's say students that'll be like, they'll give me too much respect. Respect your instructor and stuff like that. But they'll give me too much respect, meaning like when we shake hands, they're not really going to try because it's like, well, I don't want to, I don't know, I guess maybe offend me by trying too hard, or what if they tap me, or what if they beat me on points, or whatever the case may be. If I feel like an individual doesn't really bring the heat like they should, then I won't pick them next time because they're not trying as hard as I know they can, meaning they're not giving me their best effort, which means I can't give them my best effort, which means we're not going to get better together. So I'll find individuals that are going to do that. So those students that I roll with all the time, they're getting better and better and better all the time. And I have students that I have started as a white belt, no wrestling, no prior jiu-jitsu experience, and now they can beat me, and it just goes to show, like, over time, if you continue to roll with the right training partners and have that pressure put on you and ask the right questions, and be consistent with your training, that you will close that gap and get better. But that gap will never be closed, and you will never really get close to getting better at rolling with certain individuals if you just always dodge them. So whenever you do get partnered up with them and you do have to roll, it's always going to be the same result because you're not used to rolling with them like you should. So it's just going to be the same result. So I kind of got that last night with certain individuals where I look around and, they should be locking horns, they should be tying up, but they go the other way. And then when I do put them together, it's what I thought was going to happen. Like, it's just one-sided, or one is just really, really struggling. And that's just because they're not rolling with each other more often. And that's the answer. There's no other answer. Like, I can answer questions for you. You can watch some videos, some instructionals, but the only way to get better and to close a gap with certain individuals is to roll with them more and more and more and more and more. And that's the only way. Okay, I've been doing this for a very long time. So for anyone new that's out there, or anyone out there that's just kind of avoiding someone that's not, like I said, for me, I like to match people up according to their height and weight and their belt rank. So I'm really particular about that. I really don't let my students, 30, 40, 50 pounds heavier train, because I don't want anyone to get hurt. I feel like the most injuries come from when you're just like an undersized person just getting stacked and getting crushed and getting injured and stuff like that. So I'm always looking for the partnering people up where they're just close in rank and weight and size and stuff like that. So that's just my advice for you guys today. Anyone out there watching training, try to find the person closest to your weight and belt rank, or a belt rank or or two above you, they're only going to make you better. Yeah, the round might suck. It might not. It's going to be a really hard struggle for you. But eventually, the more you roll with them, the better you are going to get. And the faster you're just going to grow. You really are. It might not seem that way. It might not seem that way in the beginning because you are getting your guard pass, you're getting mounted, your back taken, you're getting tapped out, whatever. But it'll never get better if you continue to avoid certain roles with certain individuals. Now, I was giving this analogy like a long time ago, like, when you're trying a new move, trying a new technique, you want to switch your game up a little bit. You got to go find some white belts, or whatever to roll with. You got to hunt some squirrels and rabbits first, and then you go after the wild boar, the elephant, that kind of thing, like later on when you get your technique down. But so meaning, try to do 1 or 2 rounds with some students that you can apply some moves on, stuff like that. But you definitely got to get those 2 rounds in every evening, or how many rounds you do, with some individuals that are definitely going to challenge you and put you in some bad positions so that you can get more comfortable being in those bad positions, so that you can get out. I know that rolling with the students that I roll with and the adjustments they've made me so much better because they do put me in bad positions. And I'm very comfortable there now to where it's like I know where I'm at. Like, doesn't matter what position we're in, I know where I'm at. So, because I've been there so many times. So for me, like I said, I'm always looking for the individuals that are going to challenge me and push me because the mindset is I just want to get better. I just want to grow. And I only can do that if I'm rolling with students that are just going to get me better. And the other thing is the more I put into my students, the more I roll with my students like that, the more they're going to give back to me. Because before, competing and stuff like that, I used to kind of get a mind, I used to kind of psych myself out with going to a tournament, knowing that certain individuals in my bracket had like other black belts to roll with, and I didn't. I had, white, blue, and purple belts, coming up through the competition scene. And so that would psych me out quite a bit, and I wouldn't go out there and perform like I know I could because I'm thinking, well, man, they're getting better training than me. Look who they get to roll with every day. And so the mindset was, you know what? I just got to build this. I just got to build this. So that's what I've been building for many, many years is my students, even though they're, blue, purple, brown belts and they're not black belts, they're tough as nails. And it's just proven to me over and over and over again where I started to go out and beat guys that did have 5 other black belts, their weight class to roll with in every class or whatever the case may be. It just started to work because I started putting more and more emphasis on like making the guys at my size, better, even though they were lower belts and lower rank. The rounds got tougher and tougher, which made me better. So when I did go out and compete, it made a dramatic difference to where, I started beating guys that I really didn't think I could beat because I just thought they had better training partners than me because they were black belts. And that's not the case. You can have some super tough, white belts, blue belts, purple, brown to roll with. You just got to roll with them. You just got to roll with them. So there's my tip for today. It's not really, on the whole positive motivational kind of tip thing, but you can apply it to everything else that you do. The more you run from something, the harder it's going to get, and you'll just never really adjust to it. So you can apply this, what I'm talking about jiu-jitsu, to just life itself, because everything we do pretty much pertains to that. So whatever you're running from out there, whatever you're avoiding, whatever you're supposed to be looking at and you look the other way because you just don't want any of that smoke, just go get it. Go get the smoke. The more you go get the smoke, man, it's just going to be better for you. The more you're going to adjust, the more you're going to adapt. It's not going to hurt as bad. It's going to be less painful. And then eventually you'll just, like some of my students, they can just get the best of me because they just roll with me. Sometimes, man, I'll roll with these guys that turn off the clock and I'll just pick on them all the time to where now it's like, it's just really, really, really tough. So that's the mentality. That's the mindset. Whatever is giving you the problem, go more towards the problem and stop running from it. And things will get a lot better, a lot faster. I guarantee it. All right. You guys have a great day. And we'll catch you on the next one. We'll see you.